Hello everybody, and on today's video we have a lot to do. Now, mainly getting through upgrading some of our already built machinery, making some more machinery, getting some enchantments into our tools because we need a lot of things to do today. Mainly getting a lot of space so we can build some very cool things. And now, on to our little time lapse. Enjoy. And hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Creating. And as you guys saw in the intro, we're now just on the process of remodeling our small farms over here. And I also added the quick little tree farm so we can get some spruce. We may even switch this up for oak in just a little bit because I want to try and keep up the same style of these buildings, and they use a lot of spruce on the floors and on the roofs, as you guys can see, and a lot of oak on the walls. Like the structure is a lot of oak logs and spruce fences and stuff like that. So I need to make either a second quick tree farm to farm oak, or just switch that one to oak in a little bit. And the way I'm thinking about making these two farms right here is this one will be pushed away right into this corner, and I will have an entrance right around here that would be able to squeeze through here and have access to the bamboo. This windmill will not be here, this will be further up, and then we also have the access to the downstairs over here, and we will have an other access to this area, which will probably have an elevator going down to an area where I can mine. That's why this is here. If I dug this is like a very big hole down to bedrock basically. And then I'll probably have like a small garden here where I'll put the nether portal, and I'll remove this house as well. And this castle, by the way, will go away. Not right now, but this castle will go away, and I'll repurpose this as the proper mining facility. Just so you guys know, there's a lot of plans going into this area right here. This will be basically the starter farms, because I want to encompass them, because they've been very active, and they've been very helpful in trying to get emeralds, so I could get my pickaxe going, and I can get my elytra going on as well. I still need to enchant my boots. I still need to make a better sword. Probably need to put some more enchantments on the axe and on the shovel. For example, mending is very needed at the moment. But I also want to get this building through, and it's going to be a little bit complicated to try and replicate the same aesthetic style as some of these buildings, but I'll give it my best. Guys, I think I took something a little bit too far. You see, while trying to come up with ideas for enveloping my farms, I started building on farms, and well, I kind of spent an entire day building this. But basically, I moved the windmill to the place I wanted it to be, and I enveloped both of the farms into an actual building. And I also have the entrance to the mine, which I'm going to be working on because it needs an elevator and all those good things. And yeah, the resources took a while to get, of course. I made the oak farm, and well, this came out. I even made a pool, a literal pool inside the second floor. This will be replaced with ladders later, come up to a third floor where you can actually see things. We have a platform where you can take off with our elytra, and I can just go ahead and give you a quick little view of the house. Now, yeah, as I said, it took me basically the entire day to do this, or the entire afternoon to do this. It's still nowhere near finished because it has literally nothing on the inside besides the farms. But with the mods we have, it means we have so much to do here. And of course, this is only the beginning, as you guys know. But I really, really like the way it came out of. So if you guys have opinions about this, please let me know down below. I'd like to know what you guys think of this house. I think it looks really cool. I had a lot of doubts when I started building it, like a lot of doubts, but I think it came out really good. There's a few touches I want to give here and there. For example, here I'm probably gonna add some extra details around here. Still gonna probably add some more leaves all around the area. There's still like these gaps for the machines for the farm, the bamboo farm, but I don't think they look bad. I think it looks okay-ish. But yeah, tell me what you guys think down below, and let's move on to the next thing. Oh yeah, of course you can see that I have a totem of undying. Well, I kind of flew into the woodland mansion. Well, it's kind of loading. Yep, there we go. Just because I kind of wanted one just so I could have it. I actually died before getting it, but well, I have a waste zone that I placed there, which means if I want some more, I can go there and kill the evokers, which is pretty cool. We have access to the woodland mansion. I also found this amazing ocean. I was kind of hoping to find a swamp or a desert. I found neither, so I guess we found an oak. We found a jungle where I took a little bit of bamboo from, which means now we have access to bamboo. Found a lot of villages, like a lot of villages. This one is in a mountain, looks pretty cool. This one is also kind of in a mountain as well. They all look pretty amazing, by the way. Now I'll just quickly go over with what's going to be the plans for the next builds. Now, for example, this area right here, if you take a look on the map, this corner of the island right here is what I'm going to be using for my docks slash train factory. This is where I want to manufacture all the things that I'm ever going to be needing to make trains. By that I mean the train tracks themselves. For example, look here, train tracks, these bad boys, which need some slabs, and then they need some iron nuggets or zinc nuggets, and then they need to be pressed, and boom, train tracks. I want to be fabricating these ones, the train casings, as well, as many as I could ever possibly want. We can also use wood, for example, if you want some different types of train tracks. If you want any specific train track to be made, we can use these, which is pretty cool. You know, if you want them to blend in more with the environment, we can take advantage of this. The next thing would be train tracks, train casings, but the train casings need brass casings, which in turn need wood and brass to be automated and then to be placed into the brass casing on its own. The train casing also needs sturdy casings, which means we need to get lava and we need to make obsidian. We can get obsidian from magma blocks, and we can get magma blocks if we possibly get our hands on the blaze farm and the slime farm. You can get those two together and we can do this, or you can just get a magma cube farm, for example. And I have actually taken a look into an item which hopefully can help us with this. I'm really not sure if it's gonna work the way I think it will work. It's a grappling gun, kinda, sort of, not really. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. It's near the create item stuff. Yeah, this is the one, the block picker. This guy is added from create stuff and additions, and I will be making this guy right now and see if it can pick up spawners. It says it cannot pick up items that contain information. I'm not sure if that counts as spawners. And after a trip to the Nether and raiding a bastion, I was actually able to get a snout armor trim, which looks okay, and I got some smithing temple upgrades, and then I had to mine a little bit more to finish and getting some netherite scrap. And why do I need this netherite scrap? Well, the recipe that I'm about to do actually requires a netherite ingot. So our first netherite ingot is not even gonna go for a pickaxe, for a sword. It's going to go for this magnet. Yes. So we're now able to pick this bad boy up. And this guy needs water. To get these water in him, I got this large tank, which is, well, filled with water. And now this guy will slowly but surely start filling up. And while it's filling up, I'm gonna take a full trip back to our little skeleton spawner we actually found in the first episode. Well, it's as I feared. We cannot move this guy in any way, shape, or form, which is very sad. We can move all the other blocks, as you can see. They move like a gravity gun, which is it's kind of interesting. I guess you can sort of toss them. No, I don't know. It's a little bit weird how these mechanics work. Oh, it actually broke the block. Yeah, it's complicated the way it does work. If I right click it, then I gotta. Oh, there it goes. Now it's moving. It's weird, but it's funny at the same time. Well, guys, I made myself a drill. Well, it's pretty much a very basic drill, and the only thing that I really wanted right now is an easier access to resources. So how does this work? While it's actually running, because I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna get it the first try, and I did, I made myself a card assembler. Now the card assembler allows me to build things on top of, well, this machine, and then whenever I have a minecart here, the minecart will then pick up the contraption that I put on top of it. So basically what I did was I went ahead and placed a few blocks, as you guys can see right there, and then I put a deployer. Now the deployer is filtered to place down the rails. The rails keep, well, the minecart moving forward. Then we have a row of chests, and on front of the chests a row of drills. It's literally that easy. Now you can see that it's not perfect, and somehow I just turned it to the side, but the cart is not on rails right now, and that is bad. Let's see if I can place it down. No, it actually does appear to be on rails, or he isn't. Well, he isn't, and now it's just going off road. Well, I should have actually made it so it never change orientation. At the moment, it's just gonna do its own thing. Now, apparently, if I right click with the wrench, yep, there we go, I can just pick up the entire contraption, even though it was just going off road here. And then if we right click it, we place it down. Now, as you can see, all the items will be stored in here. I had a bunch of rails into here. We're gonna give it a go, and then just toss it and move it forward. We can move it like this, like what I'm doing right now, and it will move. Or in the second option is you can just go ahead and grab a powered rail. Go ahead and quickly grab on to this guy, and then we just place it. It was just gonna be placing it in front of it, and then giving it some power, so that it just gains a massive boost in terms of speed. So as you can see right now, it's kind of stopping. Probably gonna mine one extra block, and then we place the rail right there, and we just power the rail, and as soon as it touches that rail, it should gain a lot of speed. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Okay, we're gonna give you a little tappy tap. There we go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And now I have an easier way of mining, which is, well, something I desperately need. So let's get our hands together and start making something. Well, I didn't move the iron farm, I made a new one, so we still have the other iron farm that's all the way over there, but this one will be fueling our train tracks. So I made a bunch of large water wheels because they will be powering this side of the factory basically. And we have the iron farm, which is using crushing wheels to crush, well, cobble, as you guys can see, and I'm even getting some random cobble just flying everywhere. I just hope that it doesn't land on my conveyor belt right here, because if it does, it's gonna break the farm. Literally break the farm. But let's keep going. I also made myself a crafting upgrade, and I have a jukebox upgrade I got from a mob, so I guess we can play some music if we really want to. But the most important thing is actually the crafting upgrade, because it allows us to craft wherever we are. Now, right now, we're gonna be focusing on trying to get the tracks, right, this one. And to do that, we need 2 deployers and a press, and they will be deploying iron nuggets and pressing onto a stone slab. I want to do stone because it's literally the easiest thing that I could possibly do right now. I only need to cook cobblestone and make another cobblestone generator, and well, this one is kind of just tossing things all over the place, so I might need to do a little bit of fixing here to see if I can stop this from happening, and let's see what I can come up with. Well, basically what was happening is that the cobblestone that was sometimes just idling on top of the chute, and that meant whenever the new cobblestone spawned, it was just tossed the other one like randomly. And by just doing this simple thing, it means that the cobblestone will have like a buffer. It's gonna stay here, and whenever the chute is ready to take it in, it will take it in. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, it is. Oh, wait, no. Oh, well, I didn't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have train tracks. Now, let me go ahead and try to explain you through this mess real quickly. Well, I told you how this one would work. Basically, it's doing the same thing as the other one. Crushing gravel, washing, and then I have these brass tunnels with a filter to only accept flint and iron nuggets, and then this way comes flint, that one goes iron nuggets. Now the iron nuggets are then being funneled all the way to that drawer right up there, so then they could be put into the deployers. Now I'm gonna put all of this so you can see it in action. You can see that this one tosses up, that one picks it up, then it goes all the way up there and goes into the deployers themselves. Now this will go until it fills this one completely, and then it will start filling up this one, as you can see, which is perfect for the setup right down below. Then the next step was, of course, making the stone. That meant another cobblestone generator right there, and then I have a buffer, or a drawer as a buffer, then tosses it down. It has a fan which is then powering or cooking the stone into the cobblestone into stone. And then I'm using this very cool trick that if you put an item drain next on top with a funnel on top, the item kind of like tumbles onto the machine. This means that I do not need to put a belt here. For example, the item will just tumble on across into the mechanical saw and then get passed on into the next thing in line, which is the deployers, and then the end, the press. I think it looks really cool. Now I need to somehow make a building out of this, but we have our train tracks, which is really the beginning of the next step. But of course, the train casings on their own are actually quite a lot of steps to automate, and brass isn't like fully automatable because you need, well, zinc and copper to actually have this. So I'm possibly thinking of a way of making train casings on demand. Like, I want to still have the infrastructure to do this whenever I feel like I need to do this. But for example, what I want to do is whenever I need train casings, I'll just input like 2 stacks of brass ingots, for example, and it will make 2 stacks of train casings. Because I can farm the wood, I can farm, well, I can farm myself the copper and the zinc, and I can build all the machinery around this, the sturdy sheets, also need a setup process with powdered obsidian, which comes from obsidian, and it says a small like a 75% chance of actually being reusable, which is pretty cool, but it will eventually run out. If this was 100%, we only needed 1 obsidian, but it is not, which means we need to get an obsidian farm as well. Now, to get an obsidian farm, I'm probably gonna go with magma blocks, because magma cream, if it is put through this recipe right here in the basin with the mechanical mixer, you can turn slime balls into magma cream just like that. And you can automate slime balls as well by using create on its own. You can either bulk wash it, or you can just mix it, which honestly probably is the best way. You can mix wheat flour, which comes from wheat. So if we make a wheat farm, we can get the wheat for this recipe, and then we put it with water, we get the dough. Then we need lime dye, which actually comes from either green dye and white dye, or if you make a sea pickle farm, you can see where this is going. You can make a sea pickle farm, and you can get that thing. You can make it just a millstone, just pouring down with some items, and then you, well, for example, this gives you 2. Instead of bulk washing, if you put it through the millstone, we get 2 lime dye and 1 green dye. And then we put it, of course, we put it together with the dough, we get slime balls, and you can see like how much this just starts adding and adding on. So to do that here, well, it's gonna need a lot of infrastructure, that's for sure. Well, and after a very long day of working, I guess it's time for us to end the episode. And we are getting ready to get into steam power as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There's a lot more to come. See you in the next one. Bye.